In this video, you'll learn how to make liquid culture. You'll need quart-sized narrow-mouthed jars with modified lids, a kitchen scale, honey, distilled or well water, nutritional yeast, magnetic stir bars, tin foil, a pressure cooker, a blender blade with rubber seal, and the narrow mouth jar rings. For each jar, you'll need to measure out 24 milliliters of honey, 576 milliliters of water, and a pinch of nutritional yeast, for a total of 600 milliliters solution in each jar. You can do this by placing the jar on the scale, adjusting the units, and making sure to tare to 0, and then pouring directly into the jar while it's weighing. If you're going to be making liquid culture from a petri dish, wrap each stir bar in tin foil and set aside. The reason you don't put the stir bar into the jar is because you put it on the blender in the lab, and you don't want to blend the stir bar. Then place the blender blade with the rubber seal on the jar with the blade inside the jar. Place the metal jar ring over the blender blade and do not tighten. Now place the tin foil over the top of the jar, wrap the modified lid with tin foil and place the stir bar inside the lid, and then put it on top of the jar with the blender base inside. If you're making liquid culture from a liquid culture syringe, the process is a lot simpler. Place one stir bar inside of each jar. Then place the modified lid on the jar and tighten, and cover the modified lid with tin foil. Place the jars inside the pressure cooker and securely close lid. Cook for about 15 to 20 minutes at 15 psi. Make sure not to open the pressure cooker until it's cooled completely and you are in front of the flow hood. Oh, that was good, dude. Now that you're in the lab in front of the flow hood, you'll need to blend the petri dish into the liquid culture. Take one petri dish and remove the parafilm. Using a scalpel, cut the agar in half or in fourths, and then stick each piece into the jar. Screw the jar lid and blender base back onto the jar and pulse 2 or 3 times for just a little bit. You don't want to blend it fully. Remove the blender base, put it in the sterilized stir bar, and screw the modified lid on. If you're using a liquid culture syringe to inoculate, all you need to do is stick the syringe and use 3 to 4 milliliters per jar. Label everything and set in your inoculation area onto the magnetic stir plates, letting them stir for the first week. After that, you just occasionally swirl them, making sure not to get the liquid culture onto the top.